Hello, everyone. My name's Hank Setala,
And I'm Casey MacBride.
and we're here with another fun episode of Stir Crazy Shamans.
What I was going to say before, right as we were going live, was I can share this to a couple of different groups possibly, but I'll try and figure that out in a second. Anyway, today, everyone, welcome. What we are doing is a live shamanic healing session, and it's going to be a group session for anyone who wants to be involved in the energy. Now, whenever you're watching this, whether you're watching it on the replay or you're coming and joining live, you can be energetically present, and we can work to heal, to clear away heaviness, clear blockages, and all kinds of possibilities. But what we're going to do for this is, as we're going to talk for a while and give people time, but I want everyone to comment and let us know if you want to be a part of this group healing session. And if you do, just kind of hang out. I think we're going to probably talk for about 20 minutes or so, and then we'll start doing the healing. But either way, some people really like to be present live for it, as we're actually doing it real time. So if you want to be present, just make a comment, let us know that you're here. And then in around 20 minutes after talking, we will get started with the healing session.
Yeah, and kind of the plan is going forward. I believe on Wednesdays will be the healing day. We'll be doing together live in person a group healing session, and we'll kind of put a scheduler out. So if you know in advance, like you really want to be kind of more present by offering your name to the energy, you'll be like a little acuity link where you can, which is a scheduling software I use, where you can just kind of say, "Yep, I'm going to be part of that." And then even if you're not live, we're still going to be calling in your energy and stuff like that. So it'll be a little bit more active, not live, when we do that. Let's see.
Yeah. So Hank said, we'll have all kinds of fun toys. We'll be in the Holistic Health and Healing Center with all kinds of crystal bowls and didgeridoos and gongs and all kinds of amazing things. And we're going to do that on a weekly basis, offer a free or I don't know, we don't really like the word free, but just a live healing session, group healing session for anyone who wants to be a part of it at no charge to people.
Very cool. I just shared it to my page. I can't figure out, for some reason, like I've started watch parties every single time, and this time I can't figure out how to do it. Isn't that funny?
I'm going to share from Stir Crazy Shamans. Where are we?
Yeah, and if you're watching now and you want to help spread the word about what we're doing, if you want to take a moment to either start a watch party or share the video, we'd greatly appreciate it. And if you happen to be watching from anywhere other than our YouTube or Facebook page, make sure you go there if you want to make a comment, because we won't see them otherwise. And if you're watching this on the replay, even if you didn't make a comment that you wanted the healing, all you need to do is be open to receiving it, and you can still get the benefit. It's just some people, myself included, I prefer being in the live energy. I know there's technically no difference in the ever-present moment of now with the illusion of time, but I have a preference for it nonetheless. So
what I'm going to try and do right now is I think I might be able to share this to a couple of these groups that I'm a part of. Let me see. Oh, I can. So we're going to share to Mystical Spiritual Advertising. Which other ones can I? Oh, here, free. Can I share to that one?
I don't know. I don't know these weird groups you have joined. We all do.
Okay, well, I've at least shared to 3 groups. I know I can share to. Oh, maybe one more. Let's try this. I joined as Casey MacBride. That's why it's not popping up.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way too. Like I joined one group as Stir Crazy Shamans, and like if I want to share to that one, I got to have my little comment thing as that. It was very disorienting. I don't know how I managed that.
I think that's the group. I hope I just shared to the right group. If not, I might be in trouble. But that's all right. Spiritual advertising ratings.
Sometimes trouble is okay, because what are they going to do? Kick you out, right?
Right, exactly.
During my senior year of high school, this is like our grade counselors in a way. They would give everybody advice, and we were at Cedar Point at the time, which is a local amusement park. There's this one ride, they tore it down now, but it was like the log ride, and you would go up the hill and then you would go down and get wet and everything. And they were taking their hats and just splashing everybody. And like all the people are like yelling at them, these little lifeguard people, and they're like, what are they going to do? Stop the ride? And they just kept doing it and just getting all the seniors completely drenched. And when they got to the end, there was like Cedar Point security there, and they were like, "You're not allowed to ride this ride anymore for the rest of the day or something." And they said, "We go ahead and throw off better rides than this," and just walked off.
Oh, that's so great.
So beg forgiveness or ask permission. I think you play it by ear in the moment.
If I just did this correctly, we may have a good number of people joining us here shortly. And if that's the case, again, I have it written down below, but what we're doing is a live group shamanic healing session. So anyone who wants to be present, comment, let us know that you would like to be a part of the healing session. And but about 15, 20 minutes from now, we're going to start and do like a group session. So you can be present for it energetically live, but also if you miss part of it or whatever, you can always join in on the replay and watch it then and benefit.
And it just occurred to me, I should probably grab my Mesa to open up space.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it on Casey for a moment, and he will, space fill the time while I go get my Mesa.
Okay. A lot of responsibility. Mm-hmm. So shamanic healing, for those of you who aren't familiar, is a form of energy healing, but in my experience, it's a lot more dynamic than say like Reiki or something like that. We work with a lot more energies. One of the main things we might do in a session where we're not getting too in depth into things is to run a running of energy. Translates into Father's Rain. We call it Saman Chikui in the tradition that I'm being trained in. But it just clears away the heaviness in our energy field. And that right there can open up the possibility for so much healing to happen. But then in my own sort of self-taught way of doing healing, how to put it? Yeah, so I call in various energies and spirits to work with me. I can see spiritual beings, and then also sometimes certain energies will just kind of show up, and I know, okay, these energies want to be present for this healing, and then I just call them in to do their work. And so you're back. So everyone, like I said, comment down below. We got a few people watching. Do you want to be a part of this shamanic healing session, this group shamanic healing? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and next week we will get more notice. We're actually going to probably put it up today for next week. So we'll have a little bit notice for people, because brand new thing that we're choosing to do.
Yes, absolutely.
And this is what I was grabbing. This is my Kintu Mesa or Misha, and it just has different stones for my initiations and things. And it's the main tool that we use in the Alta Masayo Pakokuna tradition of Peru to open up space and work with people. So it totally had to come to the party.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Linda Marie says, yes, absolutely. Welcome. Yeah, so stick around, Linda. We're going to be... like I said, we're going to talk here for a little bit, and then we'll jump into the healing. We're kind of waiting for whoever decides they want to show up to be a part of this. So yeah, we were kind of inspired to do this. I think both of us want to start doing, well, I don't know, at least me, I'm speaking for me. I want to start doing a lot more shamanic healing work and reaching more people. And I feel like this is a beautiful way to give people a taste of what is possible during a shamanic healing session. Now, obviously, it won't, I don't want to say that. If you're willing to receive it, these group sessions can be extremely powerful, and you'd be amazed at what you can clear and heal from during a group session. But, of course, if we're doing a one-on-one session with you, we're going to obviously be able to like really fine tune our focus and address your really specific problems. Doesn't mean those specific problems can't be addressed in a group healing, but one-on-one sessions can be really advantageous as well. So just know that we do offer that, each of us. But for anyone who wants to be present today, I think this is going to be pretty magical. We don't have all of our toys with us, or at least, well, Hank's toys. They're all Hank's toys, and we get to hold them sometimes.
I got one. I got my bowl. I got my rattle. I got a flute.
Oh, you got a flute too.
Oh yeah, I got a flute. I got my well, I have all the flutes here, but the one I have next to me is this one, my original bear flute that I got
Wonderful.
so many years ago from Michael Searching Bear. So, and I so wanted a wolf on the top. I'll bring this up. You can see it's like this beautiful bear.
But you discovered that a bear is a guide of yours because
yes, I did. Well, that's where I was going with the story.
Okay.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Yeah. Well, anyway, there was a bear, and I thought, well, that's appropriate because it's Michael Searching Bear. And then years later, during my first round of apprenticeship, I had a dream where this beautiful spirit bear came up. The dream was very real. Like I almost had a moment of panic in the dream, but there was a sense like, oh no, this is all okay. And it was my entire class of shaman students that were all in this like cave up on this mountain. Then I was out on my own, and this bear came up and got up on its hind legs, put its paws on each shoulder, and just touched its snout to my forehead. And it was like this amazing experience. And now I have that's one of my spirit guides, if you will, one of my Yanapek beings.
Very cool. I love it.
And we might just have some shy people because I see people watching, but they're not commenting. They're like, I don't know if I want to be a part of it. Maybe I'll just look from the outside.
And then also, I don't know, maybe do I need to check? Let me check my profile where I shared it to. Okay, no comments on there, but we have at least three people watching from the profile, from my profile alone.
And I don't know how much I trust the stats either because Mike was on yesterday and he was commenting actively through the stream, but it said that Lone was watching from the place that he was commenting from. So I'm like, I call shenanigans. It's not 100% correct.
Yeah, all of you who are watching part of this today, make a comment. Let us know you want to be a part of the healing. Of course, like we said, if you just want to watch and be a part of it, that's all right. But comment so we know that you're here, and it can be a really special thing to have like a little bit more of an energetic presence during the healing.
And I do have some other healing tools. I forgot. We got my little crystal skulls. This is Silka. Yes. She is one of my my go-to little crystal beings that loves working with people, so she'll be here as well. Let's see. Well, then maybe this is Emma. It's a nice little geode skull. Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. And we got Papa. This is, you're not going to be able to see it as much, but it's rainbow obsidian, and you can kind of see the shimmers of rainbow if you look at it from the side. From the front, though, it looks all black, but he is really cool. One of my connections to some of my deities.
Very cool.
And then last but not least, my very first skull ever, Einstein, which is kind of like, well, and I didn't name him. This was one of my first skulls. I bought it from Goddess Elite. And one of the first days I have him in my office and I'm working with someone, I hear, hey, I need to go home with them. And I'm like, really? And don't worry, I'll be back. I'm like, okay. So I basically, the person I was working, I'm like, here, you're supposed to work with them whenever you're done, bring them back, whenever that is. And about 7 years later, lo and behold, she brings them in, says, I'm all done working with them, and gives them back to me. and it was right at the same time I was starting to, not knowing I was going to build a skull mesa, but it was like he was right in time for the party. So
very cool. So Anna says, I will. She wants to be a part of this, but getting ready for work, if that is okay. Yeah, absolutely. Faith says, I can listen, but I'm driving. Just don't get too zoned out on the energy. Make sure you are paying attention to the road. But yes, happy to have you here. And then Tammy says, hi, Tammy. Stick around. Do you want to be a part of this group energy healing session? Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, have no idea what we're doing yet, but we will once we start. We did one really cool episode on Sunday with Jameson where we did a group healing, and I was at my office and we just kind of went back and forth doing whatever came to us. And that was a little bit just for one person. We might do stuff like that in the future too, but we just kind of follow our intuition. And though we call it shamanic healing, I will make a disclaimer that if I feel that there is something that will create possibility, I will go outside the shamanic realm into an access realm or a Reiki realm or wherever I need to go, because healing really is about following the energy of whatever is going to create the greatest possibility, which in and itself is shamanic. You're following the energy, but it might not necessarily be chanting in Quechua or something like that. It's going to be whatever will create the most.
Yeah, and I call what I do shamanic healing, but really it's just what I was taught by the spirits And so I do all kinds of stuff that probably some of it does fall within like very similar to what certain indigenous healers practice, and other things that maybe no human on the planet practices except for me. So, but I just call it shamanic healing because that's kind of the closest thing I can relate it to, really. So, but yeah, but like I said, I call in the energies of all different kinds of spiritual beings and all kinds of good stuff. But yeah, as of right now, I think I'm going to work a little bit with fire today. We're going to have the fire going, and I have a cool little idea what we can do to kind of open up the space as well for everyone. I'm going to do a little kintu. I'm going to throw it into the flames, Hank.
Oh, very cool. And if you have a stone, like a little piece of amethyst or agate or anything like that, or if you don't have something now, later on, if you watch it on the replay, if you want to like hold a piece with the intention of setting an anchor to the space that we're going to be putting everybody into, you could use that stone in meditation to help anchor you back to be able to return to the space where you're open to receiving and letting go of things. So you can it doesn't even have to be a stone. It could be your car keys if you wanted to anchor that. It doesn't have to be something super metaphysical, but if you want to choose something to be an anchor, that would be something you could run and grab and have ready to.
And I'm thinking the way I might do this, Hank, I have an idea.
Oh no, again?
I know, right? I get too many of those darn things. So my idea for this, of how we can do, because I don't know, for the group healing with the both of us.
Well, the in-person one next week's gonna be so much fun, though. We're gonna do it at the center in the big room, and it's gonna be magical.
And we're gonna do that every week, hopefully, too. So what I was thinking is maybe to make sort of an energetic like surrogate that represents everyone, like an energetic body, like in the astral, that we work on to represent all the people we're working on. I think that might be kind of cool.
Very cool. How many kintus are you doing?
I'm just gonna do one for all of us.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. I'd have to go through. Who knows if we're doing everyone that may ever watch? I don't think I got enough leaves for that. If we're gonna do individually.
You just call everybody in, pass, and in reality, we're all one anyhow. So one's good.
One's good.
Yeah,
one for the one.
One for the one. I like that. That could be a T-shirt.
One for the one.
Yeah, like a kintu on a T-shirt. One for the one. People won't know what it means. There was it Elizabeth Jenkins? One of Zane's other people that took some of the training at the same time as him. She had T-shirts made that said "I eat hoocha" on the back of the T-shirt. and hoocha in this tradition just means heaviness. And there's one tradition in particular called the hoocha miqui, where you open up your Cusco nawi, your belly button, if you will, and allow whatever heaviness the client has or whatever you're working on has, you bring it into yourself and digest a hoocha for them. And it's nothing scary. There's like a progression of how you learn how to do that, where you first start with someone that you know, and then a stranger, and then your worst enemy. And then after that, you can digest other people's hoocha as a healing technique. Or you could just let the earth do it. Like, you don't have to do it. But sometimes the hoocha has a medicine for you. So there is a great benefit to digesting the hoocha yourself.
I think it was Arya told me she hadn't been taught how to digest other people's hoocha. She was being taught how to digest her own. And then she went out and she had a friend or something where she was like, "Oh, I'm going to do this for you." And she didn't really know what she was doing. And then I guess she had some not so pleasant effects. And Sane was like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to be eating other people's hoocha yet." So yeah, definitely if you're going to do something like that, make sure you have the proper training. Eating other people's heaviness.
Well, I'll tell you what, sometimes even when I have the training, I will get very physically, I don't know, I definitely have an effect sometimes. Usually when I'm eating hoocha and whatever the vibration is of what I'm digesting is something that I personally am having a resistance to releasing within myself. And it's not the hoocha that I digested that's causing the upset. It is the things within me that resonate with the same meal that I'm working on that are causing me awarenesses and things that I need to work through. So, and that's a good point just in general. A lot of healers, not all, of course, but they have the point of view that you pick up things from your clients. Is that the case? Or is it that you have something similar that they just let go of that you really don't want to let go of, and you're experiencing your own stuff and not theirs? Just another possible point of view.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know. When I started to sort of recognize that was what was going on more, instead of, so, I think at some point every healer has the idea like it's possible to pick things up from someone. But when I did recognize there was things within myself that these energies were resonating with, I then started to look at that as an opportunity. I guess these things would sort of arise as we were doing this. I would go, like, oh, great, this came to the surface. Now it's time to work to release this. So I would look at it as an opportunity to release something rather than like, oh, crap, what did I do? So, yeah, it could be a beautiful opportunity. So I think we're getting around 20-minute mark. Anyone else, go ahead and comment. Let us know you want to be a part of this group shamanic healing session. And then in a minute or so here, we are going to get started. Well, I know we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people already who want to be a part of this. So anyone else, make a comment. Let us know you would like to be a part of the healing session.
And let me tell you, my Mesa is amped up now. I shared this on the Live in the Woods episode, but it didn't come out, so I'm going to share it again now. I had a experience where this item, this arte, jumped off of my Mesa, my altar space, I should say, in my bedroom, and it crashed to the floor along with a shamanic staff. And so I had the awareness that I needed to facilitate something with the person that gifted this to me, which was my first spiritual mentor. I even thought maybe they passed. Found out afterwards that they didn't. They're alive and well, but they were, well, I'll get there. Anyway, so I do this little ceremony. Then on my next stream, the video just keeps going out, and it looked like this. I would just go like that, and it would just be my logo with me talking. And that kept happening a couple times. And then I thought, well, I'm going to just check my phone and look on their Facebook page, see if there's a notice about them passing. And in that moment, I just completely left. All the buttons on the live stream software became disabled. I couldn't do anything. And the poor doctor was just kind of like talking on her own, wondering what was going to happen. And so I'm like, okay, well, something's going on. I really need to work with this energy. So I took the item that had jumped off of the altar space along with the staff, and I took it up with my Mesa, and I put it in my office with on my main Mesa spread with the item right on top like this. And then I went to have lunch with my friend Ryan, business meeting or whatnot. And when I came back, I went to grab the Mesa and I opened it like this. And from the mouth of the Mesa, all the stones just fell out. And if you ever see one of these opened, it's like the stones go in, you fold it once, you fold it twice, you fold it a third time and tuck, fourth time and tuck. There's no way that the stones could get from the inner part of the Mesa to the mouth where they would all fall out all at the same time. And even if that could happen, all the stones, not one, all the stones, they just all out. And it looked almost as though like the tie was loosened. And I had one other story where something similar like that happened, but I'm like, okay, well, I reached out to Zane and I took everything home, and I chose to put that medicine piece into my Mesa, that little arte that decided to jump off the altar space. And I was the experience was so potent. Well, one, I redid the whole Mesa underneath the light of that full moon with the lunar eclipse and everything. And even that was magical because every offering I made for each stone inside, it was a real cloudy night. And I would hold up the kintu to connect, and the clouds would part. I would get the moonbeam, and then I would put it on the inside the cloth with the stone, and then the cloud would come back, and then I would do the next one and the cloud would go away. And it was like this whole process. Even my wife was like, this is really odd. Every time I hold these moon. and so like it was this really powerful experience. Just it's something I do once a month, but this time was just like, whoa, this was just off the hook energy. And then I decided to reach out to the gentleman. And it turned out that he was alive, but he had moved to some very remote part of Canada, and he hadn't been on Facebook in over a year. But somehow he had the impulse; he had to get in the car or get a ride, whatever, and go to the city to check his Facebook, sees the message from me, and the message is back: "I am well. I'm not doing any technology right now. Here's the address where you can write me." and so after years and years, I've reconnected with one of my very first spiritual mentors over something like that. So just that's why I say this thing is amped up. It's ready to suck some hooch out, do its thing.
All right. Well, in that case, maybe we should get started.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for and letting me tell the story.
I think, how are we gonna? So yeah, everyone who's present, whether you have commented or not, what I'm going to say is, as we start to begin this, just find yourself in. If you're driving, like Faith is, obviously pay attention to the road. But otherwise, just become as relaxed and receptive as possible. If you want to close your eyes, if you're not driving, then you can. Just as we're going to be doing a lot of, like, I'll be singing in light language, and there'll be like chanting in Quechua and other languages sometimes. So as that's happening, all of the sound vibrations and also all of the energies that will be flowing, just imagine that they're almost like a pebble dropping into a pond, like the field of your consciousness, and allow these energies just to kind of send ripples throughout you. Don't really try to hold on to any one thing. If energies start to come up, emotions start to arise, just let them come up and pass. Don't try and logically figure anything out. You don't need to go into any mental stories about what's happening. Just be in the pure experience of it. Be as present as possible.
And just on a personal note, my wife is working from home and is literally right above me, so I might not be as loud as I would normally be if you were in person. So but energetically, I'll be like all over the place. And one thing that I really like to do when I'm in a situation where I can't do all the things I'd like to do is, you'll see my hands out like this, and I'll just be subtly manipulating energy in the people's fields to facilitate movement of energies and stuff like that. So Casey may be the more vocal one today.
Yes.
But I'll go ahead and open up here. Ahaya Pachamama, Ompui, 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 Iari Pachamamita Kun, Ompui, Ompui, Ompui. Ahaya Maru, Ompui, 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 Iari Mamo Unu, Ompui, Ompui, Ompui. Ahaya Mama Kocha, ompui, 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 iari hatan sumak, Mama Kia, ompui, 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 Mama Kia, which is Mother Moon. Iari texelerpu, ompui, ompui, ompui. Hahaya, wirka chaiwa, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari wirka Taiwantan waira kuna, ompui, 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 iari waira kuna, ompui, 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 iari hatan sumakuntar, ompui, 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 iari saura kinti, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari inti taita, wilki inti taita, ompui, 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 iari hatan sumaksonko, ompui, 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 hahaya, wilka nina, the sacred fire, ompui, ompui, ompui. Hahaya, Quichi, ompui, ompui, ompui. And as I do these next few, this is the time to energetically invite your guides, spirits, angels, teachers to be present with us. The words that I'm using are hahaya, attention, the name of the spirit I'm about to call, the name of the spirit, and then ompui, ompui, ompui means bring your healing here. Iariana pekuna, ompui, 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 hahaya, wilka nunna cheska, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari hatan sumakarish kuna, ompui, 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 hahaya hatan umakuna, ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari wirakocha, ompui, 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 wirakocha, Nike.
And again, just becoming very relaxed and receptive to the energies that are flowing. Saya Ramnavura Ya Hareyana Arun Irena Saraviru Aram Nasaya Siyarmanu Hariyabeya Aramiyareyana Haru Haru Ivaneya Yarmare Ivanareyaru
Ahia, Pakarina Kuna, the feminine nature spirits of our place of emergence. Ompui, Ompui, Ompui. Ahia, Ituapu, Kuna, all the masculine nature spirits of our place of emergence. Ompui, Ompui, Ompui. Just thinking about the place that you were born, connecting with the sacredness of that land, knowing that these spirits held and hold the blueprint for the perfect you to help you reascend into your full self, your divine self. Touching in with that energy, we're calling them all into the mesa. And if you want to, in a very safe manner, in a moment, I will Pakui, do a sacred breath of intention to allow this energy to blow back down through you, creating an attunement to your blueprint of all the potentials that you could create if you were your whole self in this world.
And to this collective energetic surrogate that I've created to represent all of the people who wish to be present for the healing, I now begin to summon Chakui, cleansing away all of the heaviness in our energy fields. Sayare Uvaya Armanayane Iru Ivanaire Ire Ara
Just allowing a column of light to be created near you. And we're just going to invite, if there's any beings that have been attracted by the work that we're doing that are ready to cross over, we're going to extend them an invitation to use this column of light as a portal to move on with their journey to whatever the next grandest version of them could be, allowing them to receive this as well. Any ancestors that have been with us, family lineages that needed healing, that through this process can now be released. Ooh, feel that. Can now be released. We're inviting them to go into this column and choose another experience in this ever present moment of now, leaving only the pearls of wisdom from the experience that you've had with them, and allowing them to move on with gratitude for their contribution. Kan Chai. Kan Chai. And one more. Kan Chai. Ahaya mamonuknu ompui ompui ompui. Iri sawi chukui ompui ompui ompui. Becoming very open and receptive, connecting with our beloved Earth Mother. We call upon Mama Nuknu, Mother's Milk, and through the left foot, allow whatever energy is appropriate that will create the greatest possibility for you right now to enter into the left foot. Swirl throughout the totality of your body, being, and beyond, through all timelines, past lives, future lives, through all the organs, cells, the space in between, taking with it any heaviness, effortlessly moving it out the right foot and back to our beloved Earth Mother. And notice that the energy from second to second even can shift, because as you start to release, the energy that will create the greatest healing for you changes. And just to be allowing of this energy throughout the rest of our process here, knowing that this is effectively empath dialysis, taking all the stuff that's not really yours and effortlessly moving it through your field and back to the Earth Mother where it can be repurposed.
And I want everyone who is present, if you have your eyes closed, just for a moment, open them. Place your attention on these leaves that I'm holding up. And intend that a line of energy from your own energy field is being connected to these leaves. And as I go throughout this process of attuning these leaves to the three worlds and the three energy centers of all of our bodies, I will come to a point when I will ask you all to become aware of the heaviness that's holding you back from being perfectly happy, peaceful, whole, from being the most perfect version of yourself. And then we'll place that into the leaves when I call us to, and then they will be burned to transmute that energy. I'm connecting into the lower worlds, the Uchupacha, attuning the leaves to the energy deep within, and the energy within our Mother Earth, the energy of 0 point of oneness. And taking that energy, drinking it into the lower Naui, that I don't know the name of, drinking that energy in to resonate with the powers of the physical industrious body. Allowing that to resonate and then offering that to the leaves as we bring that up. And the combined energies of what we've connected with so far, drinking that into the energy center at the heart and offering our emotional body, like the combination of our love and will, into the leaves.
Munai.
And bringing it up to the Yachai. Drinking that energy in. And then offering the energy of our intellect, our wisdom, to flow down and into the leaves. Apakuna. Mustakuna. And coming into resonance with our seat of divinity, that rainbow energy behind the navel. And allowing that to come up, swirling out the totality of my being as I raise it above and offer that sweet, sweet nectar of our individual energies up to the royal hummingbird to carry that energy to Viracocha, creator energy. And in divine reciprocity, beautiful energy comes down from Viracocha. As I bring that to swirl throughout the totality of my being, resonating through the heart, offering that to the leaves. And again, infusing it with all of our prayers and intentions. And I want everyone for right now, again, if you haven't done so already, energetically connect to these leaves. And right now, I want you to just focus on the energy. You don't have to think about it if you don't want, just focus on the feeling and the energy of that which holds you back from being perfectly peaceful, happy, healthy, healed, whole, from being the most incredible expression of yourself. Focus on that as I collect that into the leaves. Hucha yatsi yaksi mu yaksi pui. And now I want everyone to offer all of the sacredness that they're feeling here in this moment, the highest vibration that you can feel at this moment without trying to create something that doesn't exist. Offer the highest vibration you can into these leaves, and you can do so with the baby's breath. Breathing in and holding it for just a moment, combining that breath with all the divinity of this moment, and then gently exhale. Imagine you're blowing that sweet energy into the leaves. And I call upon all of the energies and spiritual beings that can help to assist all of us in releasing that which needs to be released. And all of the energies and spiritual beings of light who can help to reinform our energy fields, any areas where the energetic patterns that no longer serve us can be transmuted so that we can be more whole, peaceful, happy. Please bring your healing here now. Incorporate your energy. Sariya manarana eyaraya Arumahaya reyana kumaya Survanari amnasaye Suarvanaya Arme Armiyara Sumakasiyara Ayarvasahi Urmanarayari Surveya Ramneya Uravamne Yaramaxeya.
Ahaya, Pachamama, Nike and Nike and Nike Pachamama. Iari Pakarina Kuna, Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari Itopakuna, Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari Pachamamita Kuna, Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari Mama Unu, Mama Kocha, Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari Hatan Sumak, Mama Kia. Welcome Mama Kia, Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari Welka Chaiva, Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari Texelerpu, Nike and Nike and Nike. Ahaya. Waira Kuna, Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari Welka Waira Taiwantan Waira Kuna, and Nike and Nike and Nike. Iari hatan zuma kuntar, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike. Iari sawar kinti, that royal hummingbird, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike. Ahaya, inti taita, wilka inti taita, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike. Ahaya, wilka nina, the sacred fire, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike. Ahaya, Quichi, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike, Iari Yanapakuna to all of our spirit guides, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike. Ahaya Wilka Cheska Kuna, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike, Wilka Nuna Cheska Kuna to our sacred soul stars, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike. Iari Wirakocha, a Nike, a Nike, a Nike, Wirakocha. And finally, Iari, victory and praises, Katari Kuna, to all your own unique voices in this world. A Nike, a Nike, a Nike, Arpichai Sonkolai, Arpichai Sonkolai, Arpichai Sonkolai. Ooh, and a Nike Hatan Umakuna to all the crystal skulls. I didn't mean to forget you. Nike, Nike, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, I know a lot was released there. Yeah, I feel like I just received an enormous healing, which if you're doing healing right, you should feel like that afterwards.
Oh, there's no shoulds. Don't shit on me. I won't shit on you.
Okay.
But ideally, it's a nice thing when you have a lot of shifts in healing, and you can release as much as you're willing to release and receive as much as you're willing to receive. And the real question is, because you can go back and watch this again and again and again and again and continue to receive healing from it. And the question is only like, how much are you willing to receive and let go of? And the sky's the limit. There is no limit, I should say.
So I'm curious, whoever's comfortable and is watching, we're going to be on for another few minutes probably, but comment, let us know how you're feeling. How do you feel now after that? Oh. I know sometimes after I receive a healing like that, my brain doesn't come back online for a little while. So
What brain?
What brain? Exactly. So, but yeah, I'd be really curious to hear how all you guys are feeling after that. And anyone have any particular experiences that they would like to share that happened during that healing session?
And while people might be typing, thank you for sticking around for the whole thing. Like, I really thank you for holding it sacred. I guess is what I'm saying, because a lot of people might have chosen to bounce, but I can see from the viewership, I think we kept almost everyone, if not everyone. So really appreciate that. A Nike, a Nike, a Nike.
Yes, big thank you for that. And thank you all for being so willing and open to be in the space to receive this healing. Because, really, without you guys being open to it, we wouldn't be doing healing sessions. So thank you for that. And it's just so beautiful. We're going to be doing these hopefully every week, but they will be, how to put it, we're a lot more excited about the future ones because we'll be together in person. And we'll have all kinds of fun toys, crystal bowls, didgeridoos, and fun things to play with. And we're hoping to offer it, like I said, as a weekly thing for anyone who wants to participate. And so it should be a really magical thing.
Yeah.
I was just going to say,
you were bringing it up already.
Thank you. And she said, would love an in-person session. So anyone who, I don't know, hey, maybe in the future we will open up the
well, we talked about that yesterday. Like one thing that because me and Casey are both locals, so whether it's virtual or in person, it would be possible to get a dual healing session from us with my office, and it might be a little cramped having to jump around each other because there's only so much space for 21 crystal bowls and 2 shamans. But we would be able to offer like a group session or something like that. So we talked about that already, and we're going to make that on Stir Crazy Shamans. There'll be a link where you can book sessions and stuff like that in the very near future. That wasn't the priority, was to start doing the work. The taking sessions was a secondary thing. It's like, yeah, we're doing that. Why not make ourselves available to people if they like to have a dose of Hank and Casey, or just Hank or Casey. If you resonate just with one of us, that's fine too. Just to get a session with me or just with Casey or whatever.
And I'm gonna, Hank, I don't know if yours is typed up here, but I see mine is already. So if anyone is interested, I have availability up. I think actually later today, and throughout the weekend and stuff as well. If anyone who would like to book a healing session with me can go to shamanswayhealing.com. And there's option to book for shamanic healing session. I think it's just shamanic healing is how it's labeled on the site, but there will be an option to book there.
And on the YouTube channel, there's links to all of our sites. And my site is my name, hanksetala.com, because I kept rebranding myself every time I learned something new. And then Spirit says, hey, you're always you. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. So now it's just hanksetala.com. And from my watch party, we don't see the comments on watch parties unless I happen to look, but someone was saying, Donna was saying, I came in a little late while you were sending healing, and I did feel a shift. Something happened. Thank you. You're very welcome. And you can go back and watch the replay and get the whole thing if you'd like.
Oh, so I like this. This is an awesome one right here. So Faith says, I feel more normal. Any lingering anxiety seems to have melted away. I feel more connected to myself and the earth. Yes. Oh, I love it. We're so happy. Yeah, no, that's what it's all about, I mean, it really is. If you're willing to receive the healing, it can do all kinds of amazing things, like mental, emotional discomfort can, like she said, just melt away. Even physical pain, I see that all the time in my healing sessions. People's physical pain just like poof, it's just gone. I'm not saying that will happen 100% of the time, but if you're willing to receive it, it absolutely can. Tammy said I already pulled that one up. And then Faith says, also, I love the singing. How can I learn the songs? So the singing that I'm doing is light language. So those are just songs that come through from spirit. So I don't know the words or the melodies or anything.
No, but that being said, if you can give yourself permission to get out of your own way, you can do that. And on the way back from a hike, I started doing it, and then Casey started doing it, and we were actually harmonizing and hitting sometimes the same notes and the same words, and it was unrehearsed, totally different, because the way when that comes through for me, it has definitely a different vibe than how Casey's doing it. So, but if you give yourself permission to open up and really tap in, you can absolutely do that, and you're doing something not only because it's a different language, but the melody you've never heard before. It's like an actual song, notes that's never come through, and it's really potent if you can give yourself permission to let it flow.
Yes, and that the light language is like major. I call them like soul code downloads, but like these downloads of energy come through in that light language, and it can like shift things. It's just a really powerful healing tool. So if you're interested, Faith, I don't know if you're the Faith I've worked with before or not, but I can't tell from the picture because you got something covering your face. Is that a dog? Anyway,
I'm not sure.
But that's also something I can work with people to teach them to do is to sing in light language. So that would be if you wanted to book a session for that on shamanswayhealing.com, I would book that as a spirit guide communication lesson, and we can work on that.
Something else I'll mention to that, if you want, like, well, that's one skill set. If you'd like everything that we're kind of putting together, the shamanic program that we are both apprenticing has been delayed because of COVID. And so like the first in-person meeting won't be till June. And our teacher Zane is doing a 20-week virtual apprenticeship as a standalone thing, plus the in-person things. So it's not too late if you wanted more of a structured education around it too. Our teacher is teaching, and during the sixth weekend, what's normally the sixth weekend, there's a whole process where you start to really allow energy to flow through you, to do singing, to do movement, and all that kind of stuff, starting with your spirit guides and then working with other beings and things like that. Really fun.
Yeah,
and it's a cat. It says it's a cat.
And she said, "Yep, that's hers." Oh, I'm very glad you were present, Faith. Oh, thank you. So yeah, oh, super fun. That was great. I really enjoyed this. This is going to be so incredible when we're in person together. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's going to be so magical.
We are going to wrap because we want to be able to upload this to Instagram TV. If we go over an hour, then Casey has to edit the video.
Right.
Actually, well, anyway, it's easier to not have to edit videos. So final chance to just make a comment. Any really quick last word? Oh, we can just say it's awesome. That's a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah, no. So I guess to wrap up, what I'll say is right after this, we should be. Oh, and Anna just said real quick, great way to start my day. Thanks. Yes. Oh, you're very welcome. So next week, Wednesday, I don't know if we have a specific time or anything set up yet, but it will be next Wednesday. We'll be doing this again, but it'll be just way more spectacular. So tune in next week. I'm sure you'll post it on Stir Crazy Shaman's Facebook.
Yeah, we'll post it. I might actually do a Facebook event for that because it's going to be more of a, I don't want to say formal experience, but one that we want to give people a little bit more headway on to plan around if they want to be present.
Yeah. So, so keep an eye out for that. Next week, we're going to be doing an even more beautiful, powerful healing ceremony for everyone. So thank you all for being present today. And we just had one last comment come through. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am in a joyful space now. Looking forward to a wonderful day. How does it get better than that?
I'll show you next week.
All right. Great. So everyone, again, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
A Nike. Wilka Penny Chaikuna. Waku Chaikuna, thank you, sacred soul brothers and sisters. We'll see you next time.